Welcome back, YouTube. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my book recommendations. Why? Because this year and for the rest of our lives, we need to be doing things that make us happier, smarter, hotter, wealthier, and healthier, okay? And reading is an important thing. Do not come at me with that you do not like reading. Reading is a hobby that we all need to have, bestie, because it is so good for our brains. And I'm not telling you need to just read self-help books, although these books are kind of self-help books. I'm not saying that you need to only read self-help books, okay? You can read fiction. I personally like a good little horror Stephen King book. You can read fiction books, fantasy, whatever, as long as you're reading. You can also read, magazines, comic books, any of that. But let's get into this video. I have a couple books I want to recommend, but really one of them is going to be my biggest recommendation, and it's going to be such an easy read, okay? It doesn't matter if you have ADHD, if you don't like reading, this book is going to be the best for you. And some of these books I am currently still working on, okay? And this is part of just my level up series and how I'm planning on just being the best version of myself and being a better me. And part of that is reading more. And remember, bestie, what I like to say is that it's okay to suck. It's not okay to quit. I saw that on TikTok. Okay, so let's say you don't have a lot of time that day or you're just really not feeling it. It's okay to read a page or two even though you want to read 10 a day versus not reading at all. And who knows, sometimes the hardest part is just picking it up. Once you get into it, if you're really into it, I say keep reading. Especially if you have the time. Even if you read your 10 pages, you want to read a little more, you have the time, read a little more. So without further ado, let's get into my first book recommendation. I love this book with all my life. I cannot recommend it enough, and even today I still read or try to read like a page a day. It is called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. This is such an easy read. It's going to be heard with this microphone, but literally the chapters are like a page. Let me show you. And it's a small book. Like this is chapter 5, right? And the chapters are usually like a page or two. That's a page. And it's just such good information because I feel like sometimes we take life so seriously and we let like a bad 5 minutes, like we let somebody cut us off and then we spend the rest of the day telling our coworkers about it. Like, oh, somebody this morning cut me off in traffic, and you just put yourself in that negative mood for the rest of the day. You have one bad interaction. Say you work retail, you have one nasty customer. You talk about it the rest of the day and you let that affect it, even though you could have had the rest of your customers could have been amazing. They could have been the sweetest. It could have not even been such a busy day, but you had just one bad customer. So this is really good about addressing a lot of things that at the end does not matter for the overall picture of our lives. I'm going to go ahead and read the back of the book for you. Over a decade of positive psychology research seems to validate what we learned 20 years ago from Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. This wonderful book helps break down and simplify how to achieve happiness. The groundbreaking inspirational guide, a classic in the self-help genre, shows you how to put challenges in perspectives, reduce stress and anxiety through small daily changes, and find the path to achieving your goals. Among the insights reveals are how to think of your problems as potential teachers, do one thing at a time, share glory with others, learn to trust your intuition. Reminds us with simple brilliance of what it takes to raise to our best and what we need to do to enjoy life beautiful and lived. So I love this book. My attention span is not the greatest. I can do it with this book. Again, the chapters are literally a page. They're such easy reads. Every page is like a different theme. So simple that we overlook these things. Okay, and it really teaches you to just be more mindful in your day, appreciate your life, appreciate the people around you. Like I said, this is my biggest recommendation. If you can only get one book, I would definitely recommend this book. Start off your year on a more positive note, and it's not something that's going to tell you you need to wake up at 5 a.m., you need to do 10 workout classes, you need to do this. I definitely recommend this book. It's not something, just get it, trust me, try it out. And go to your local library, see if you can find it, request it. Okay, if you can't buy a book, this was relatively cheap when I bought it online. I bought it a couple years ago though. You can request a book if you don't find it in your local library. And it's a quick read, so you're good. So that is the biggest book that I recommend in this video. Now for our second book, a classic, The Secret, which I actually need to reread, honestly. It's been a couple years since I read this book as well. Now, The Secret, it's not my number one recommendation because the other one is just super simple. This, when it comes to manifestation, there's a lot of manifestation techniques and stuff online. I feel like The Secret is the truth to manifestation. And there's also a documentary about this if you don't want to read the book, although obviously I still recommend to get the book. But I love The Secret. It really puts things into perspective about energy, about achieving and manifesting the things that you want in life. And it's not like some of these cheesy things of manifestation. Oh, I mean, it's a little cheesy. Manifestation that you see online where you got to write things down 100 times. Like, no, you put it into action. You trust the universe is going to give it to you. Also, even with affirmations nowadays, it tells you how to say your affirmations. I see affirmations sometimes where people are like, oh, I, want to be this, or I want to achieve this. Like, no, you have to speak everything like you already are. You need to say, I am my best self. Not, I'm achieving being my best self. No, I am my best self. I have my dream body. Okay, so, and the universe doesn't know the word not, or don't, or, any of that. You need to speak very literally. So, I'm going to read you the back of this book as well. And this is a book that I'm definitely going to reread soon. And again, I have a lot of notes. It's a pretty quick read. It's not a big book at all. I still haven't seen the documentary. I got to put that on my watch list. Okay. Clear my throat. It has been passed down through the ages, highly coveted, hidden, lost, stolen, and bought for the vast sums of money. This centuries-old secret has been understood by some of the most prominent people in history. My pronunciation of my names isn't the best. Plato, Beethoven, there's another one that I don't know how to pronounce on here. Edison, Einstein, along with other inventors, theologists. Y'all, don't kick me, okay? English is my second language. Scientists and great thinkers. Now the secret is being revealed to the world. As you learn the secret, you will come to know how you can have, be, or do anything you want. You will come to know who you really are, who you will come to know the true magnificence that awaits you in life. From the introduction. And this book also quotes, philosophers, and tells you their names, their quotes. So, obvious, recommend one of the basics to achieving your dream life. So there is that one. The other two books kind of going hand in hand. The yellow one I am currently working on, which is called You're a Badass. How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. This kind of goes into with the secret of manifesting your life, but this is kind of explains on how you're going to discipline, right? Achieve that discipline. And it also kind of talks about our subconscious and how our subconscious minds develops throughout different generations and some generational BS that we carry along that gets subconsciously embedded in us, from a young age, and how to pretty much reverse that. I'm going to read the back of it. You're a Badass is the self-help book for people who desperately want to improve their lives, but don't want to get busted doing it. In this refreshingly entertaining how-to guide, best-selling author and world-traveling success coach Jen Sincero serves up 27 bite-sized chapters full of hilariously inspiring stories, sage advice, easy exercises, and occasional swear word helping you too. I will say, there is some good quotes in this book that I really like. And it's not a difficult self-help book either. Identify and change the self-sabotaging beliefs and behaviors that stop you from getting what you want. Create a life you totally love and create it now. Make some damn money already, the kind you never made before. By the end, you are a badass. You'll understand why you are how you are and how to love what you can't change, how to change what you don't love, and how to use the force to kick some serious ass. So this is the book, and I got some of these books from the bookstore, some of them off Amazon, but this is the book. They're all relatively somewhat affordable. This one is $16. Okay, and why I said that these two kind of go together. So originally I had started reading this one and I took a pause. This one's actually kind of bigger. I took a pause at reading this one to start with the basic one. Really, you can decide which one you want to buy or if you want to buy both. I would say this one is kind of like an overall topic, and this one is specifically about money, and I'll tell you why I bought both. Originally I got this one before the other one because I didn't know about the other one. I got that one because I wanted to know kind of an overall, but I'm glad I got this one too. This one is You're a Badass at Making Money. And the reason why I wanted one so specific about money is because we get so much subconscious BS fed to us about money and having money and how it's going to change us. And, you know, I am a first generation American. My family is from Cuba. They are immigrants, right? That came to this country for a better life. But coming from a place like Cuba where you are so brainwashed and live in poverty really takes a toll on you. So I definitely feel like I have a lot of subconscious feelings when it comes from money, and I grew up in poverty. So I'm very grateful to be at the point where I'm at now, but I definitely want to advance in my finances. So that is why I am grateful I stumbled upon this book, and I'm going to finish it once I finish the other book, because I really need to undo some of the subconscious feelings I have about money, because again, you know, I grew up, which is not my parents' fault. You know, I love my parents. They gave me a great life by coming here, but yeah, the feelings that I have around money are definitely bringing me stress from growing up in poverty and thinking like, oh, I have this money, something's gonna come up and I'm gonna have to pay it. So that's definitely something that I am working on, you know, to level up. You gotta level up your finances. So I'm going to read the back of this one as well. This one is it's not a lot. From the New York Times bestselling author, You Are a Badass, a life-changing guide to making the kind of money you've only ever dreamed of. Learn to uncover what's holding you back from making money. Give your doubts, fears, and excuses the heave and ho. Relate to money in a new way and lucrative way. Shake up the cocktail of creation. Tap into your natural ability to grow rich. Shape your reality. Stop playing victim to circumstances. Get as wealthy as you want to be. So really, you can decide which book you want to get depending on your situation and your life. If you want an overall just guide to, you know, kind of train your subconscious mind and be positive overall and achieve the discipline that this kind of tells you so that you can manifest, you know, your dreams. You have to be disciplined to an extent. Obviously, you have to believe that it's already happening and it's already happened in some timeline. But what I like to say, which is one thing that I'm doing now, is that you have to act in a way that's going to achieve that. So what do? And I started doing recently, since I'm trying to level up. I created 2 vision boards, which I might share. I created 2 vision boards, and what do? I look at them every day. And even though I think I already have these things, I'm living in that timeline, I look at it every day and I'm like, okay, what can I do today to be my highest self that pushes me one step closer to this vision board, to being on this timeline of receiving this, right? So even if you can't do everything you want to do in a day, because there's so many limited hours, you can do a handful, if not one or two, depending on the day, of something that pushes you closer to that reality. Okay, I know you have to believe you're in that reality, but you just look at it and you're like, okay, how am I going to show up as my best self today for this life that I love so much, right? This life, this vision board, this life that I'm living that I love so much. I know I sound cuckoo crazy, delusional, but really this type of thinking is not going to harm you. Obviously there's a delusional, to overly positive, to some sense you have to have a real life, which this kind of entails, right? This book. But there's nothing wrong with being positive. It's matter of fact, how many studies out there are saying that if you're positive and stuff, that you actually do achieve your goals, and that being in a victim mindset makes you more of a victim for things. So that's something to look into. I'm rambling a little bit. I'm going to show you the last book, which the last book is one of the most recommended books, but I'm going to tell you why I personally bought it and if you should buy it. Okay, so there's these two, and the last book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Why did I get this? So this book is kind of similar to the other ones. They all have the same theme and energy. They all just kind of tell you the same thing. Again, I grew up with some difficult situations, but just because I grew up like that does not mean I need to allow that to shape the rest of my life, and I did not know anything about money or investing or real estate. And eventually I do want to, or am getting into investing in real estate. Okay. That is one of my goals, possibly, if I don't change, but I want to invest into real estate for the most part. So I got this, and he talks a lot about your energy and your words and your mindset around money. Yes, he gives some good financial tips, especially about real estate. He gives great financial tips. However, I think one of his best things is talking about his mindset, and how that changes everything, and how you don't even necessarily need to have a high paying career to be rich. Okay, so he gives a lot of decent financial advice. I will say, if you are more financially literate and you want more, this might not be the book for you. But if you don't have a lot of financial literacy, or if you want to get into real estate, you don't have a lot of knowledge about it, or this is not a huge real estate book, but if you don't really have a lot of financial literacy, if you don't have the best mindset when it comes to money, this is definitely a recommended book. I have a lot of notes on it as well, just to start opening the floodgates into your financial literacy. Because remember, bestie, we have to become we are our highest selves, and our highest selves is always consistently doing things to make us happier. Okay, happier, wealthier, healthier, prettier, and mindful. That is one of the words that's been, kind of my word for the year for 2025, and I'm going to continue to use mindful. I think mindfulness and gratitude are a big thing we take for granted because we live in autopilot so much. Anyways, bestie, this video is getting kind of long. Thank you for anybody who's watching this. I'm just starting posting a lot on YouTube. I don't have a good setup or anything, but I love these types of videos, so I want to make them. And if it could help one person, or we can all be on this journey together to level ourselves up and talk about it in the comments, I would love it. Let me know in the comment down below which book you are considering getting. And remember, you don't have to buy these books. You can go to your local library, which are such great resources. I think for the next upcoming year, I am getting a library card, not just because they have books, but they have other resources too. Look into your local library. But yes, you can recommend or request them to get a certain book for you. And it's a great hangout community spot. You might meet new people. So definitely recommend, even though some of these books aren't as expensive. This one's like $17. These are all US pricing though. But they're all, I believe, under $20. But comment down below which book piques your interest the most. And again, what's my most recommended book? The easiest self-help book that really is just so easy that it's mind-boggling how we blow things out of proportions in our lives. It really is. Like, But yeah, life, I'm gonna leave you with this quote, okay? Life is beautiful and you have time, okay? Life is beautiful and you have time. Anyways, goodbye besties. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below.